there may be someone talking about, international students are a bit disadvantaged on the market. But when that unfairness comes to you, you will feel it very, very closely. And, that's just a very frustrating and disappointing. My name is Zudi Jin. That's my Chinese name. And most of my friends know me as Philip. I was born and raised in China. I grew up in China and I was educated in China until high school. So after graduating from high school in China, I went to Canada to do a Bachelor of Computer Science at the University of Waterloo. I found out myself to be really interested in interpreting when I was studying in Waterloo. So I came to Australia in 2017 to do a Master of Translation and Interpreting at Monash University. There are several reasons that are contributing to my stay in Australia. So one of them is definitely my parents' will. So they're asking me to not really asking, but every time if I resist, they will be quite angry. Actually, we would argue on that regard. From my perspective, that's not how I consider. China is my home. I want to go back to my home. 那怎么能说叫浪费了呢？单单是教育投资啊，对吧？我学我上当啊，而且我生活费我都生活了，我在国外的经历都有了，而且我觉得我也没有刻意多花多少钱，对吧？你能让我说一句行吗？你听我说一句，就是其实这么说吧，就是假如我就决定要回去了，你们拦我也拦不住的，因为你拦也没有用，对吧？因为我自己就长着腿，我自己就回去了。那我问你们，其实就是想问一下你们的意见，因为我觉得你们的生活经验会比较丰富。所以我想问一问你们这么想让我留在澳洲，你们是怎么想的？There are different types of parents in China, and some of them are like they would like their kids to go back to their own city, their hometown. My parents were like, so my dad runs a small company, and I think part of the reason that they would like me to stay in Australia is that they have seen the dark side of the Chinese society more. They have been exposed to the dark side in many aspects. So I don't really want to argue with them, and I'll consider their proposal. When I first graduated, it was quite a hard time because one of the reasons is that I'm a Chinese citizen. I'm not a permanent resident here in Australia. So, every time when I call a company or when they call me regarding my application for a job, they would most likely ask me, can you work permanently? And I would honestly answer, no, I'm sorry, because I'm not a permanent resident, but I can work for you at least for 2 full years because I'm on a postgraduate working visa. However, for a lot of times they would probably say, I'm sorry, but we would probably look for someone that can commit on long term with us. That was quite disappointing, but there isn't much I can do about that. After I first graduated, during the first few months, I almost broke. That's kind of because I didn't have a lot of income at first, and I still have to pay my rent, pay my bill, and that was quite a hard time actually. So I don't like that period of time, and I don't like to be out of a job. So I want to be prepared. So I would like to have more money on that regard, and I think it makes me feel very secure. Fortunately, I'm working with one of the biggest interpreting agencies right now on the market, and it's actually a Victorian government company. I'm currently working as a freelance interpreter, and at the same time I teach CCL, which is Chinese English Translation exam. I also teach VCE, which is like the Victorian mathematics exam, and also I teach AMO, which is like the Australian Mathematical Olympic. And now I think my life and work is beyond my expectation actually. There are actually, things that Australia and Melbourne are better. For example, the environment. I now live in Docklands, which was, one of the best places I've seen in the world to live in, one of the best suburbs. The environment is great, the weather is great, the people here is great.
Thank you.
And also a lot of, a lot of parts of the society, a lot of aspects of the society is better. I really enjoyed my program and my study and also my friends and colleagues here. So I decided to, stay and work here at least for a while, a few years to see, how my life in Australia goes.